If the top-ranked team in the country is making its first SEC visit to Columbia, you're going to arrive at the game no matter what the form of transportation. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS as the Crimson Tide comes to Columbia to take on the Missouri Tigers. A large line of thunderstorms approaching from the west, so we could have thunderstorms throughout this game. It will apparently affect play. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Welcome to Columbia, our first visit here. And Gary, Alabama arrives top-ranked, both polls, winners of the national title 2 out of the last 3 years. I assume you concur they're the best team.
Yeah, I do, Vern. I mean, not only the Thunderstorms, it's a large line of offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and players. What's happened here with Nick Saban in Alabama is the program has been built. 4 or 5 years of top recruiting classes, great competition on the practice field. They've set the tone for how they need to win football games, and now they definitely are the team to beat.
Well, Nick Saban known for his defensive prowess, but now they've got an offense that is equally favored in most of these games.
Absolutely. You know, Vern, I've talked a long time about in this conference, you can have a lot of playmakers on the offense and the defensive line, but you got to have a quarterback to win the championship. Last year, Nick Saban and his staff brought A.J. McCarron along a little slowly, but you saw in the second half of the year, he became a guy who could win games with his arm. But, as you mentioned, he does play behind one of the great offensive lines in college football. Watch this play early in the year against Michigan. 5 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends. That's 7 perfect blocks. You bring down the slot back on the right side. That's number 8. The wide receiver downfield. There's number 9. You got the ball carrier number 10 and the quarterback handed off. That's 11 guys on a perfect play. You see that a lot when you watch tape of Alabama run the ball.
Well, this Missouri fan base has so anticipated the arrival of Alabama here as an SEC opponent. But they're a bunch of wounded Tigers right now, offensive line and quarterback.
I feel a little bad for the Missouri faithful. Gary Pinkel, he's made his kind of reputation with offense, the spread offense in the Big 12. I think even in the Big 12, he'd be wounded. They've got a lot of young players playing in the offensive line, and the matchup is going to be difficult for them. And besides that, they lost their quarterback, a running quarterback. Corbin Beck-Stresser, their redshirt freshman quarterback, will have to do it. His style is to throw the football. He's not going to run a lot because he doesn't have much depth behind him, and he's going to have to do it against one of the great pass rushes in college football, too.
Alabama, obviously, an overwhelming favorite to win this game. You and I have been around long enough. We have seen upsets. If Missouri is to win, what must they get from whom?
Well, if there's a blueprint to do it, I think you got to look to your playmakers on both sides of the ball, and Missouri's got a couple. If Sheldon Richardson could make an impact in the middle of the offensive line, maybe force the Alabama offense to devote another blocker to him, they might free up a few other guys to make some tackles. And on offense, I think they go to their TJ Moe. They're kind of their Wes Welker of this offense. He caught 8 balls from Beck-Stresser the last time he started the game. I'd go to him at least 10 receptions in the football game.
Alabama Crimson Tide undefeated. Missouri Tigers 3-3, 0-3 in the SEC. Back with more after this.
He is in. Touchdown, Alabama. Take them down.
Breaks the tackle to the house. Touchdown, Missouri. Hit and drop.
We welcome you back to Faurot Field, Columbia, Missouri, home field of the University of Missouri Tigers. Moments ago, they were first on the field. You see the graphic, 0-12 all-time against top-ranked AP teams. And right behind them, the top-ranked AP team in the country. That stands for Associated Press. 35 straight wins against unranked teams. We welcome you again to the Home Depot SEC on CBS. The undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide and the 3-3 Missouri Tigers. One of those defeats occurred here at home last Saturday. They were overwhelming favorites to defeat Vanderbilt. They lost 19-15. It was an emotional defeat. For more, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
That's right, Vern. There was a lot of frustration after that game, and you can hear shouts of anger through the locker room walls afterwards. And I asked Gary Pinkel, he said there was no negativity. It was just leaders making their feelings known. One of those leaders, defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson, who said, I was frustrated, just emotions coming out. We put a lot into this, put hours of planning, hours of practice. We put a lot into the season, and we want more than we were getting out of it. And he said, we're tired of losing in the SEC, so it's time for a wake-up call. And guys, they're hoping that begins today with an upset of #1 Alabama.
Well, they're going to have to get nearly perfect execution to win.
Well, if everybody on his team plays with the intensity of Sheldon Richardson, they've got, their best shot. That's their only shot. They have to have that type of intensity.
First meeting in the Gator Bowl in 1968. Last meeting 1978. Missouri, one of the rare teams who can claim to have a series edge over the Crimson Tide. You're looking at Dean Milner. The rain has just begun. This is Baggett, who will kick off here in Columbia. Missouri won the toss, deferred, so Alabama will open on offense. Here's the kick. It's a good one. And A.J. McCarron, Gary mentioned in the open of this telecast that he's yet to throw an interception this year, goes back 8 games, 17-1 as a starting quarterback.
What I like about him is he is, by nature, a gunslinger. He really wants to fire it all over the field, but he's accepted the coaching, and he's learned to play the position the way Nick and his staff wants him to.
15-1 in October under Nick Saban. Play fake. McCarron slings it out to Kelly Johnson, the H-back. And Johnson on the completed pass picks up a modest gain. Quanjo Warmack may be the best of this offensive line. Jones, Steen, and DJ Fluker. You could make an argument for him. They've got a great offensive line. Amari Cooper, the freshman, his first start. Michael Williams, Lacey in the backfield, Kevin Norwood, and Christian Jones complete the starting lineup. Power run, Lacey into the secondary, breaks a tackle. One man to beat. Does a little inside move. Now he's got another man to beat, and he's got the angle. Edgar Lacey in for the touchdown. 73 yards.
Not too tough. This time it was Anthony Steen, number 61, coming around. And then Braylon Webb, number 9, was the only guy that had an early shot at him. Lacey is 235, 40 pounds, and you saw the cutback. I mean, we've been watching Alabama do this for a while. No matter who they hand it to, they got a guy that looks just like that.
Second play from scrimmage. Shelley with the extra point. It is up and through.
Last night when we talked to Nick, he said our favorite formation is 3 wideouts, 1 tight end, and we like to run it from there. He was pretty darn right, wasn't he?
If you're a Missouri fan, it's gotten even gloomier here on the opening series. Eddie Lacy from 73. And now for a look from our Avis action cam.
Vern, when I was talking in the open, I was saying that they had 9-10 blocks. On this one, because of the stunt by Missouri and Steen coming around and Jones coming inside there to get the block, Missouri kind of ran away from this run. The wrong stunt at the wrong time. Jones gets his block. Steen fits. One missed tackle in the secondary by number 9, Webb. And the big guy's in some space, makes a late guy miss and cuts across the field. When you're trying to move your undersized defensive lineman and you get caught in a bad stunt, bad things happen.
Kate Foster will kick off for the Crimson Tide. TJ Moe, number 28, back to return it if possible. It is not. It'll come out to the 25. Well, getting his second start of the season, redshirt freshman Corbin Bergstresser played and started in the Arizona State game. Did not play well last week in relief.
No, but I thought he looked pretty good when I watched the tape against Arizona State. When you're coming in relief as a young player, you don't get him many snaps in practice. He had all the snaps this week, so we will see. I would assume that the rain has to favor Alabama. Missouri's trying to throw the ball around in a finesse offense. You would assume.
9 of 30 in relief of James Franklin last week. Little safety valve pass out of the right. That's Kendall Lawrence, and let's introduce you to the remainder of the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Fisher, Boehm, McNulty, Copeland, and Justin Britt. 3 starters not in that lineup. You see 2 freshmen are starting. Washington, Waters, Lawrence, who just caught the pass, TJ Moe, and Bud Sasser getting his first start of the season as a wideout. 85-yard reception against Vanderbilt last week. Bergstresser, right side. Defensively for the Crimson Tide, and they're number 1 in a number of categories across the country. Stinson, Jesse Williams, and Damian Square up front. The linebackers Dixon, DePriest, and C.J. Mosley gets the start against this pass-happy offense. Blue, Sunseri, Lester, Clinton Dix, and Milner, 3 safeties and 2 cornerbacks. 3rd down 8. Low snap. Rush. Just did get rid of it. Incomplete pass.
Vern, it's the same blitz that Vanderbilt ran numerous times against Missouri last week. 3-man line, bringing the linebackers inside. They were unblocked all last week. Alabama says, well, we might as well try it. Maybe, maybe they haven't figured out how to pick it up yet, and they didn't there. And you know that for Missouri, that's another bad trend for the year. They have not started off a drive in the game with any points, and they didn't get any there.
On the punt, as Trey Barrow had one slip through his hands for a safety last week. He gets rid of this one. It is a terrific punt. Over the shoulder catch is Christian Jones, nailed near the 5-yard line. Donovan Bonner.
That's a big mistake by Christian Jones. You put your feet on the 10-yard line, you don't go backwards.
71-yard punt. Well, looking for a glimmer. They got one. Time called. Welcome back to Columbia, Missouri. Alabama 7-0. Missouri's defense, and they really have played quite well for most of this year. Ely, Richardson, you heard Gary talk about him. Matt Hoke and Madison, the other defensive end. Gooden, Will Ebner, the leader of the senior group. Andrew Wilson, the junior, and in the secondary, Edwards, Walker, Webb, and perhaps the best there, E.J. Gaines. Ball was marked at the 8-yard line. Second Alabama possession. This will be the 3rd play from scrimmage, and they're up 7-0. Norwood in motion, sets up tight right. Handed off to Lacey, who weaves his way. Here we go again. Oh, dear.
Well, Gary Pinkel's going to have to get his football team from being down in the dumps right now. You work all week telling them that they can compete with the #1 team in the nation, and 2 running plays, you don't even touch him at the line of scrimmage until he gets into secondary. That is deflating to a football team, and that's what a running game does. It can deflate you early and deflate you late and deflate you in the middle, too, if you can do it.
Hand off on the sweep to Christian Jones. He breaks the tackle, and then Richardson gets up to him.
Yeah, Gary Pinkel has told us yesterday, I've never coached a game in my life I didn't think we could win. He says there's a way, there's a path. We can do this. He told his team in practice on Thursday, we can win this football game. I don't know if he had to talk them into it or not, but right now he needs to get them thinking that they can do it again.
Freshman running back T.J. Yeldon in the backfield. Play action.
Great play by
How about
McCarron.
that? That's Michael Williams, the tight end. And he almost breaks another tackle.
Vern, this was into a corner blitz, and he's turned the wrong way, but reads it prior to the snap. He senses the corner coming from his blind side, turns around, and lets it go. That is coaching. That's aware. See him, look at him start to peek. He anticipated that corner blitz and got rid of it. That is, you can't do it any better than that.
3 plays now in the last 2 possessions. 73 yards, 18 yards, 17 yards. McCarron steps up, he'll tuck it, and he will run, and he will get out of bounds.
Number 10, A.J. McCarron, the ball carrier.
Well, A.J. McCarron, his second year as a starter. 2011 through 5 games, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Look at the numbers for this year.
I do know that is true, but last year what stuck out is he's always been a high percentage passer. He's been managed that way, and he's accepted the coaching. I got to go back to that quick little throw on the bootleg. That's why Greg McElroy was so effective in this offense. He would not get those negative plays and kept moving the chains.
Second down 4, Yeldon. The true freshman is still the running back. He gets the handoff, comes right, cuts inside, gets a good block downfield from Christian Jones. And wow, what an impressive start offensively for Alabama.
Well, defensive coordinator David Steckel for Missouri has actually tried to pull out all the stops in this game. We saw him stunting inside to stop the run with the big touchdown run by Lacey. That time, the time before, they had an all-out blitz. That time he played it base. Nothing has worked. They're getting blocked.
Another first down. And we've only played 4 minutes, 8 seconds. Draw play, Yeldon. Hit from behind after he was stopped. Well, T.J. Yeldon, the opening game against Michigan, 101 yards. And the last 4, slightly less impressive figures. But getting an early go here. McCarron. Eddie Lacy had the touchdown run, 73 yards. Barrett Jones will snap it back. See the line call being made on the change. Quick flip, Christian Jones.
Nice defense.
Kip Edwards, number 1, quarterback. That's a loss of 3. And the first negative play for Alabama's offense.
The numbers suggested on this play that there's an option either to hand the ball off or throw the ball to the outside. Kip Edwards defeated the block by the other wide receiver and busted the play.
That brings up 3rd down and 9. Marvin Shin, the 4th wide receiver, is on. Amari Cooper goes left.
Let's see if Missouri will dare blitz. It does look like they are going to blitz.
On 3rd and 9.
No, baiting it.
McCarron left side.
He thought it too.
4th down.
First time A.J. McCarron was fooled a bit on the play, but we do have a flag on the throw. Is it hitting the quarterback low? Watch. Baiting the blitz. They're both going to come out this way. Safety's going to go out. 2 safeties. So a win by the Missouri defense. It does appear to be against Alabama, too.
Referee today, Tom Ritter.
Interesting to
Number 65, offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Interesting decision by Gary Pinkel. He probably felt Alabama was in field goal range, even though it was against the wind. So he's going to give him another chance to throw the football here. 4th and 9 versus
3rd and 19.
3rd and 19.
Yeah.
I guess you have to take these gambles to win a football game.
4 wides. Sheldon Richardson almost got through. Little screen over to the left to Eddie Lacy, and it will now be 4th down as Kip Edwards makes the tackle.
Well, we talked about Sheldon Richardson being one of the great defensive tackles in this league. He's earned the respect of every offensive coordinator and lineman who watch him on tape. Very athletic, very smart at the end there, too. Could not get a penalty and give his team a first down. He had one of those late, on a punt against Vanderbilt that really hurt the football team. Very smart play.
And so 4th and 11. Mandel is on to punt. And Marcus Murphy with 3 touchdowns returned on punts this year. This one. Oh, wow.
The defender, I thought Vinny Sunseri should have caught that ball that time. Was that him down there? I couldn't tell if it was number 3 or not, but I thought that ball could have been caught. And
well, it does come back to the 12-yard line. And time has been called. Nick Saban and Gary Pinkel, the respective head coaches, have known each other since they were teammates at Kent State more than 40 years ago. For more, let's go outside the huddle. Here's Tracy Wolfson.
Well, thanks, Vern. The two played together in 1972 at Kent State, Saban a DB and Pinkel a tight end. Together, they guided their team to its first and only Mid-American Championship. Their head coach, Don James, was a guiding influence in both of their careers. Saban's first head coaching job was at Toledo in 1990. When he left to go to the Browns, he got Gary Pinkel an interview, and Pinkel got the job. The two have gone their separate ways since, but both have tremendous respect for one another.
Well, he was a better player than I was, I can tell you that. So he was a very good tight end, a really good competitor, good guy, good leader on the team.
It's kind of interesting to see how it all worked out. He's had a remarkable amount of success, and I've had some too. So he's done a great job. He's a great coach and good friend.
And guys, Don James is watching from his home in Washington. The problem is he doesn't know who to root for.
Good point, Trace. You know who the third and probably most well-known teammate was?
I do know, but go ahead.
A guy named Jack Lambert.
Two sitting right next to Nick almost. There it is. That's what they're trying to do. Get
Kendall Lawrence.
Yep. Talked to David Yost, the offensive coordinator. I said, how are you going to run the ball against Alabama? He said, we need to try to press the edge. I know they don't like people to run wide on them, but we need to try it. We cannot try to run inside against them, and Lawrence read this, cut back, and got the positive play.
That was a gain of 22, the first Missouri first down in the 7-0 ball game.
There's Wildcat, right?
That's the Wildcat, and that is Kendall Lawrence. We'll see Lawrence and T.J. Moe in the Wildcat today.
And I think the big difference in this team this year is the amount of running from this football team from last year to this year. And one of the reasons is James Franklin got a lot of those runs himself from the quarterback position, so you see they go to the Wildcat to make that up.
Now Bergstresser back in on 2nd down and 8. That one's tipped and knocked down by Milner. Looked like Jesse Williams, the nose guard, got it.
Vern, watching tape, Corbin had about 6 passes knocked down by Vanderbilt. When I went out to practice Thursday, he had Corbin Bergstresser throwing over the crossbar, trying to reach his ball up just a little bit higher. He made sure that all his throws was right across the edge, right there.
Well, he's got his first knockdown here, and it was the nose guard who got him. Now Bergstresser 5 wides. 3-man rush. Stinson coming from the outside. That one is intercepted by Sunseri. Vinny Sunseri got the tip, grabbed it, and Alabama has the ball.
And this was a pretty good throw right here. You got to remember, to win these type of games, someone's got to make a play. They're not going to be easy against Alabama. This time, decent protection, 3 men coming across the middle, the ball slightly behind, but look at the job Sunseri does, staying with the tip ball. One of those ones where you're saying, come on guys, can you help the young quarterback? And in this case, it's a no.
Regional action tomorrow, the NFL on CBS. Early game features Indianapolis at the Jets. 3 others alongside. And the late game, New England at Seattle or Buffalo at Arizona. And it all begins with James Brown and the quartet The NFL Today on CBS, 12 noon Eastern, presented by Southwest Airlines. Take a look at the turnover margin, the difference. Alabama is now 4-16. They've only given up the ball 3 times all year. First down and 10 on the first turnover of this game. Eddie Lacy is back in there. Toss back to McCarron, looks deep. Kenny Bell is deep. Did he get it? Yes, he got it. The fastest of the wide receivers, Kenny Bell. That's a gain of 44.
I asked Nick yesterday, you're going to try to play it close to the vest? He says, no way. Let's go for it. Win this thing. E.J. Gaines, too much of a cushion to the outside, and Kenny Bell accelerates right by E.J. Gaines, one of the best. He was an all Big 12 cornerback last year, and Kenny Bell just ran down that throw.
3 wides, 1 setback. This is Lacy, gets it, goes left. Gets a block from Kenny Bell on the edge. And he's down to about the 2.5. Braylon Webb, number 9, makes the tackle. Well, when you began, the second play of the game was a 73-yarder. That helps that average.
Jesse Williams coming into the game now with that Terrence Cody package. Remember that?
I remember Terrence Cody blocking a couple of field goals in one game.
There's the big nose tackle right there.
Lacy is behind him, although you can't see him if you're Missouri. Touchdown, Lacy.
But when you have an offensive line with Jones, Warmack, Steen, Fluker, Quanjo, and then you bring in Williams to kind of plow through it also, and Lacy's almost as big as those guys. They are showing that grown man football look to Missouri again, aren't they?
Shelley has not missed an extra point, and that record stays intact. 3-yard run. Lacy behind Jesse Williams. Brings the applause from Nick Saban. Another look at it. Lacy, second TD of the game. Don't you dare touch that remote. As you can tell from the attire, this line of thunderstorms not totally unexpected. Some choosing to enjoy it more than others, and in different ways. Line of thunderstorms moved through just about the time we had kickoff.
He used a water-based paint, didn't he? Needs those oil paints.
Oh my goodness. 14 zip, 6:07 to go in the first quarter. Cape Foster will kick off. Marcus Burkett is the deep man. Foster can boom it, but this one will be returned. Not far. Get live score updates for all of your favorite teams with the new CBS Sportcaster app for iPhone and Android. Text SCORE to 42777 to get the free app. Which bother you more, rain or wind as a quarterback?
The guys on the defensive side.
Thank you.
We were indoors most of the time, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Yeah,
At the
most of the
Silverdome.
time.
Yeah.
You know, if it gets real heavy like this and the balls get heavy, yeah, it could be a big problem. But for the most part, wind, yeah, for the most part.
Bergstresser has been intercepted once, that on a tip ball. Reverse. DJ Moe.
Adrian Hubbard stayed home that time, number 42. We talked about the rushing difference from a year ago for Missouri, and it's why their offense is not clicking. With James Franklin, they just ran the ball better. They rushed for 216 yards a game against the first 3 teams in the Big 12. The first 3 in the SEC, 120 a game. 9 rush touchdowns in those first 3 Big 12 games. Games 1, 2, and 3. They have not had a rushing touchdown against an SEC team this year.
That was Kendall Lawrence with the carry. He's got 26 yards on 3 now. Third down conversions from 3 to 7 yards. You see they're 10th in the SEC in that conversion rate.
This is when they went to Mo against Arizona State. He had many of them on third down. Let's see if they go to him again.
Indeed. And it's a conversion.
That's his go-to guy. And I think if I was calling plays for Missouri, I would try to create a pressure point. Make him a Wes Welker type player. Kind of count on the fact that Kirby Smart and Nick Saban don't like to give up yards. They got a lot of pride. Maybe they'll tilt too much towards him and open up something else.
Now Bergstresser converts to Mo when Bergstresser made his official visit here. It was TJ Moe who served as his host, is going deep into double coverage left side, and that one good defensive coverage from Robert Lester. It was intended for Bud Sasser.
The reason 2 guys was covering the deep player is because I think TJ Moe busted on this play. I was watching him. He did not know it was a pass. He comes down here and blocks and actually cleans up the play. Watch him. He comes out. He thinks it's a run play. That allows the safety to help Deet on the play. Lester's able to help, and nothing's there.
Second down 10.
It's coming down now. It is raining. I don't know if you can tell on that picture, but I'm telling you, it is raining.
Kendall Lawrence, so you heard the hit from D. Milner, the first contact there, and then C.J. Mosley. You can certainly tell on that picture how hard it's coming down. Now, the worst of this stuff, this line might move through, but they're expecting more later tonight.
Yeah, might move through by tomorrow. That's what
Yeah.
maybe. Let's see if this can, protection-wise, if Alabama can put some pressure on Bergstresser. Do it again.
C.J. Mosley got him. 2 sacks for Mosley here in the first quarter.
And this time they attacked right over that center position where the change has been made. There's Mosley. You got a young player in there, hasn't played a lot of center, runs right by Brad McNulty and makes the sack. The other sack was a missed assignment. This was just an inability to block a good football player. And when you're an offensive coordinator trying to find plays in that rain against this team, not much there.
Trey Barrow on the punt. He boomed one 71 yards. They go for the block, and they've got it. That's an Alabama block from Landon Collins.
Exactly who it was. He almost got the one before. I think he was right in the middle, and there's a 3-man protection he ran right through. A great call here. There's got so many guys in the 20s. I think he's right in the middle. I don't know if it's that one right there or not. He comes right up the gut. It's on the other side.
Yeah.
He runs right through 2 guys. You're not allowed to jump over the blockers. And I would assume that Missouri doesn't want you to run right through the blockers either.
Now, Missouri got called on leaping over a personal protector last week. That was that call on Richardson. Landon Collins with the punt block. And in a driving rainstorm, A.J. McCarron hands it off. This goes to Yeldon. Tries to get the block on the edge. He's inside the 10. They go for the strip and don't get it. That was Kentron Walker who tried to force the ball out.
It's funny, I've been reading a lot of articles about Alabama football and where might they be vulnerable. Some people might speculate that they don't have the depth at running back because of a couple of injuries. But these 2 guys look pretty good, don't they? Michael Williams that time, number 89, got a great block on the edge, and that's what allowed Yeldon to get downfield.
Jesse Williams back in as the blocking back. The huge Australian nose guard. Play action.
Nope, he handed it.
I beg your pardon. He did. Yeldon, nothing. Or almost nothing.
Well, I would...
Alabama's been pretty good. inside the red zone. The Verizon red zone stats. Second down goal. Still Yeldon. And there's the signal. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Alabama.
This time he runs right behind number 65 Warmack and number 54 Jesse Williams. Warmack pulls and kicks out. Jesse Williams also kicks out, and just enough to get across the line.
There's Jesse Williams, one of 4 Australian non-punters in Division I. There are 13 Australian punters. Might have something to do with Australian rules football. Extra point is up and good. Yeldon with the TD, Williams with the block. The pride of Brisbane, Australia. 21-zip. Well, you see Jesse Hall, the administrative headquarters at the University of Missouri, through the raindrops. Time to go back to the studio for a John Hancock update. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, after trading field goals in the first overtime, second overtime period, Andrew Maxwell of Michigan State picked off by Greg Castillo. Iowa gets the win, the 100th career win for the Hawkeyes for Coach Kirk Ferentz, and for the moment sits atop the Legends. Back to you.
Glad you clarified that. I didn't know whether it was legends or leaders. I'd get confused easily. Well, various ways to not be affected by the rain. Kate Foster will kick off. At the goal line, Marcus Murphy. Christian Jones and friends haul him down. Let's take another look during the commercial. This studying for exams right after the game is over.
That guy's got to update his logo right there.
Yeah.
He's got last year's logo.
First down 10.
You know, Vern, I think coaches are going to have to start kind of mandating their kick return guys not to return them if they're really close to the goal line. Look at this field position. Because the defenders are 5 yards closer, it's made them tougher to get the ball out to the 20-yard line.
That's TJ Moe. Yeah, they were, what, at the 15 to start this drive.
Exactly. And what's happening is the coaches have adjusted here. They've got their, instead of giving the ball to the offense in the 25-yard line by kicking it out of the end zone, they're kicking it higher. The return team is 5 yards closer, and they're running it down. Now, the object of the rule was to put some more safety into it. So far, it's not working all that much.
Gain of 7, second and 3.
These coaches are smart. They work 100 hours a week. They got to do something, right? An option play. This ain't going to work.
Nope.
No.
Oh, fumble. Ball's out, but it appears to have been recovered by Missouri. Eric Waters, number 81, fell on it. D. Milner knocked it out.
Again, Adrian Hubbard did his job. Milner comes up, does his job. I don't believe the Alabama DBs are kind of stressing too much for Burke stress or throwing the ball over their heads. They figure the pass rush will get them. Here's that 3-man line. Let's see if they bring the linebackers again.
Hubbard is coming, and so is C.J. Mosley. Burke Stresser.
Oh, nice play.
And Mo drops it. Yes, it was.
Come on, T.J. Moe. I know it's a wet football, but you got a young freshman back there playing against Alabama, taking a shot right in the chest, throws the football right to you, and that'd have been a first down, and you get a drop from your steady senior. All the mistakes have been on the Missouri sideline so far.
And as a result, down 21-0. Barrow on to punt. Christian Jones drifts back, grabs it at the 20. Heads to his left, looks for blocks, gets one. Tries to get,
Oh my goodness.
hit and somersaults out across the 50-yard line by the punter,
Yes.
Trey Barrow.
He saw Trey Barrow going low on the tackle, and he kind of did the somersault himself, Vern. He anticipated it. Watch this. Oh, he tried to leap him, and Barrow got him right on the feet and shin, and that's what called the somersault. You know, he did not try to do that himself. He got those legs taken right out from under him.
E.J. Gaines injured on the punt return. And that is the end of the first quarter. It's been all Alabama. 21-0 Crimson Tide. We'll return to Memorial Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
I'm a streaker. I'm 3